We are back. John Delarose here, the leading Hispanic voice in science fiction, coming at you with a little bit of a surprise review because I was surprised that this dropped. We got a email today from the Red Rooster campaign, which is Mitch Breitweiser, and he stated that he was putting out a 24-page preview of his Red Rooster book. Now, this book is supposed to be 68 pages in all, and I believe it was written as a graphic novel, so this is really just a chunk part of it. The email reads, the backer preview edition download. The complimentary digital preview edition is now available. This morning was sent an email from thisdignify.com with instructions on how to claim your copy. It goes on. He says he's making great progress, has begun some of your fulfillment items. It is a special collector's edition, 68-page, perfect bound graphic novel that features the first 3 chapters of the Red Rooster story. So I didn't know this was a ongoing story or just first 3 chapters. I thought it was a single graphic novel, but all right, that sounds good. They'll be broken up into bi-monthly publications for Walmart. I guess he's going to be putting this into Walmart beginning May 5th and will wrap up in the fall. So there we are with this. So this is the 24-page preview, which is out now. Here's the cover, and it's Red Rooster on like an old-timey bike thing. This is his sidekick, I guess, Strong Boy, and he's got a dog called Rascal, and he's got his Breitweiser and Pellegrini on there. All right, here's the credits. Mitch Breitweiser, art and story. Mitch Breitweiser is the creator. Mark Pellegrini is the writer. It makes me curious because I didn't know Mitch came up with the story and all that. I thought Mark had a bigger involvement, so I guess he just did breakdowns and dialogue. I'd like to get that kind of clear what he did. You always get this kind of thing in Marvel comics, like old Marvel comics have different I guess credits and all that. Eric Weathers on the letters. He's a good letterer. Hernan Octavio as the color flatter. Elizabeth Breitweiser as the colorist, and Patrick Stiles as editor, and Chris Kendrick design and layout. Actually, really good design and layout. This is a really nice layout page, much better than anything I've ever done. So very good stuff. Let's see. Not to say it's better than all of my books. I'm stepping on myself, but I've actually been attempting to do my own graphic design lately, to, just save on costs for pages like this. And this is really slick. That's what I'm trying to say. Cool. All right. Season 1, episode 1, The Fear of Dawn. So I guess we get multiple seasons of this. It starts out with a guy who is, in this like sort of flannel shirt burying someone, and we get a reveal that it's his dog. And he takes off after a while and hops on a train. Some kid sees him. He rescues the kid. What goes on? I'm going to try not to show all of it. I guess it's just a preview, but whatever. I don't know I don't know what these guys want, so I'm going to just show a little bit. Then he kind of bails on the train. The kid asks for his autograph and he signs a Red Rooster card. So I guess the kid knew he was Red Rooster. I guess he was Red Rooster. That wasn't super clear until that point, which I kind of figured out. I guess on the story end, even from the art, like you really can't tell the setting and time and place right away for the first few pages. You see this kind of log cabin. Definitely feels a little bit old timey, and then it jumps into a Red Rooster. Let's see if I can dial this up. Whoops. Okay, there we go. Jumps to this Red Rooster thing right after that, it's definitely like got some old timey cars and motorcycles with the sidecar and all that. We kind of learned that we're in the past through the process, but I was a little bit confused on the setting at first, and I'll go into it a little bit more in a second. So it jumps to Red Rooster, who's fighting a bad guy, and a nice double page spread here. I guess I should talk about the art since this is Mitch Breitweiser's calling. I love with a capital L, Mitch Breitweiser's art style. It's like this impressionistic kind of art style. Even better is Betty Breitweiser's colors. So what bugs me about a lot of modern comics is they do this like oversaturated dark tones that makes everything kind of like blend together. And if you look, Betty Brightweiser does something very different. She's got very good lighting all the way around. So you get like lighting coming out of the gun. You got the light from the sun in the background, and it's very clear where all the light's coming from, which is awesome. She also has like a very bright color palette and very varied color palette. So you've got you've got your red, of course, which is the focal point right here. And you've got like all these lush greens and browns and earth tones in the background, and then the motorcyclist is in black. Just like it really pops all the way across the page. And as I mentioned with the lighting, I mean, you see it like close up here. You see the fingertips because the light from the sun's hitting the top of the fingertips, and it's darker underneath because the shading, there's the light from the sun. Just really, really gorgeous stuff. And it makes me happy to read. So just absolutely love the art, hands down. And from page one, I love the art. I enjoy see the lighting again. Just beautiful stuff as the light's like creeping through the trees, just barely. And just well done. Love the way the dude looks and all that. So after this, we get into this like Dateline. This is where we finally get a Dateline September 15th, 1930. And the bad guys been captured from the last page, obviously, and we talk about Red Rooster. We see these films. These kids show up for a couple pages and start talking about Red Rooster on the film as if he's like a stunt or a Hollywood thing, and they inquire as to whether he's real or not. So I've got a little bit of confusion again here, which is like the I guess the down part of this is we start out with that one scene with the buried dog, not sure what's going on. The guy's kind of taking off. Then we jump into Red Rooster, and I'm not sure, if that's if he, jumped on that boxcar train and then became Red Rooster later or whatever. It was a bit unclear. And then we get the actual setting here, which is actually 15 pages into this. Easy fix. I think they should just put on the first page, because what it turns out once you read this entire thing, you kind of figure out that guy is Red Rooster, and that opening is actually after the events of this story. So he's kind of like, upset about what happened. And he mentions it a little bit in dialogue, but it's not entirely clear. So you see when it fell apart, right? Caught that last little piece of me before I could hit the wreckage. You helped keep me together. No one else would. So you get it a little bit, but honestly, a little dialogue box here right now, just being like, afterward, or like, or even if you don't do that there, going into this page, like 6 months earlier, this would be the spot to do it probably. Then you get that whole deal, and then as a reader, it's going back and you don't have to guess. If you just had one dialogue balloon right here, it would solve all that and be a lot less confusing. On the dialogue, the characters have very distinct voices. Every character really has their own language they speak, that you can hear them speaking just by the way that their dialogue is written. The dialogue is really, really well done. I guess it's Mark Pellegrini. He's credited as the writer on this. So just props on that. I've read a lot of Mark Pellegrini's work, and I come to expect that from him. So that is good stuff. We get this, like I said, we get this parts with the kids. It jumps back again, and then it jumps to the actual Red Rooster. And so I feel like the story overall really starts at that point. And he's doing Hollywood commercials, and he's trying to do some commercials. We find out his sidekick is not really a great guy. He's kind of a drunkard and a little cantankerous, and Red Rooster's kind of keeping him in line. And then it cuts to his villains, and his villains start plotting an attack. And they realize, hey, we've tried to kill him so many times, that's a little difficult to do. So this time, we're going to just ruin his reputation, which that's the point I kind of realized what was happening on this page. And I'm like, oh, I get it now. So yeah, that's like 6 months earlier right here would just really solve that. If they watch this, I hope they do that. So the villains do that. Villains are all really cool. Nice rogues gallery all together. And then it shifts to this like air show of Red Rooster. Let me see if I can. It's going down, and Red Rooster's, I guess, a part of the show. Not sure what's going on. He goes after the villains, and here's the villains, and then this is the end of the preview. So it really just starts getting going right here. I would say overall, the sort of setup suffers from a little prologue-itis. So you get that like prologue element where it's like the after effect, and then it's kind of a prologue again where it's showing Red Rooster's exploits taking somebody down, and it's kind of a prologue again where the kids are wondering if Red Roosters are in, and then the story really starts. So I can't judge the overall story because this is just a preview, and it has a lot more to it that's coming down. Definitely, like, this has a great 30s vibe right here. Everything, like from the doors to like the kind of midgety bad guy with a couple other bad guys. You got your like strong man without the shirt and the suspenders. You got the femme fatale in the background. I love love the design, and everything looks great. And I'm interested to see where it goes. The characters were very well done. Like I said, the dialogue was crisp, and overall, the dialogue really just had its own thing for everybody. And so you really could tell the characters apart very well. Very, very well done on the character end, which I very much appreciate. That's enough to hook me for the book and make me interested in reading the rest of this. So, art is 10 out of 10. This is probably the best art I've seen out of maybe any indie book over the last couple of years. I'd say the only comparison I'd give to it that's almost as good or as good is Pablo Pepino in Skies of Fire. And the coloring is just superb. Like I said, I love the palette, love the lighting, love everything that's done with that. Characterization is wonderful. Slow pace plot line, which is a little confusing with the prologues, and I can't go over the overall plot because I don't have it yet. So for this, I guess I'd give this is above average start for a book, especially an indie book. So I'd say like a, I don't know, 7.5, 8 out of 10 if I'm going to compare it to other professional books on the stands. So good stuff. I look forward to seeing where it's going, and once I have the full copy of everything, I will do a full review of that. All right, guys, I will talk to you later. Hit that like and subscribe button, and let me know what you think of this preview if you've read it, and let me know if you back this project. I'll talk to you soon.